please rise for the presentation of colors and our national anthem. You may be seated. Members of the class of 2019, parents, relatives, friends, and faculty, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the commencement exercise for the class of 2019. Representing the Board of Education are Mr. Seth Wright, Mr. Larry Koch, Mrs. Lori Prusman, Mr. Lute Atia, and Dr. Brian Green. Representing District Administration are Superintendent Dr. Doug Van Zyl and Assistant Superintendent Dr. Marley Williams. Our senior class sponsor is Mrs. Sam Davis. We are also pleased to have with us this evening Lafayette's two assistant principals, Mr. John Davis and Mr. Bart Hardy. On stage, representing the top 5 academic scholars of 2019 are Sage Buckler, Richard Philippi, Salutatorians James Boynton and Tyson Koch, and this year's Valedictorian Jacob Palmer. At this time, Richard Philippi will introduce the student speakers.
Good evening. I stand before you all tonight having the honor of introducing the top two, or rather three, students of our graduating class of 2019. These students are all exceptional and outstanding in their own ways and have been very active and involved in doing the things that they enjoy. They, of course, have represented Lafayette well. I believe a lot of people can look up to these three for inspiration and as role models, and I have no doubt they'll go far in life. Our first speaker tonight is definitely a standout scholar. He has shown incredible dedication, having done soccer and band for all 4 years of school, as well as doing football and Scholar Bowl for another 3. He was also the team captain for Scholar Bowl. Not to mention, we all know just how much of a math whiz he is, always being grade level ahead of everyone for so long. Mr. Calculus in junior year. He is undoubtedly a long-time, incredible friend of mine and of many others, and definitely deserving of this title. Everyone, please welcome the valedictorian of the class of 2019, Jacob Palmer.
Hello. Stump tassel. First, we have much to be thankful for. At Lafayette High School, we have received a great education thanks to our fine administration and amazing teachers. We are prepared to move on and to take on whatever challenges come next in our lives. Fellow graduates, I want you to know what a great gift it is to be prepared as we are, because not all schools offer such advantage. Here we have had a high degree of academic excellence, and whether you intend to continue your education or not, you will benefit from what you have learned here. We can also be thankful for our families. These past 4 years have presented us with lots of ups and downs, and it's good to know that we had our families in our corner, supporting us along the way. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, hi guys, my sisters Jessica, Shelby, Stephanie for their love, support, sacrifice, and examples. I would not be here today without you. I would also like to thank my stepmom Autumn and my stepdad Sean for putting up with me and all of my crazy behaviors. Blended families are not so easy. Today I have mixed feelings of delight and sorrow. Delighted because we can see how happy my fellow graduates are. After the seemingly endless homework, quizzes, long tests, and stress, we managed to survive. Seeing each of my friends' faces somehow gives me a flashback of the many different memories with every one of you. I know we have all shared amazing memories with each other, cried on each other's shoulders, laughed till the milk spilled through our noses from the lunchly update with Gage and company, and even argue like crazy. But still, I see that the bonds between us will never break, and that this will be something we will always have. I also see eyes slowly tearing up, which makes me feel sad because we must say our temporary goodbyes. We have grown up together and have come to know each other as siblings. But just as like in most families, one way or another, our brothers and sisters must eventually say their goodbyes and move on. Of all the values I have learned and will continue to learn, I find that independence is the most important. I first learned this when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was taught how to brush my own teeth. I know it seems silly correlating teeth brushing and independence, but even the smallest of tasks can set you on the path to becoming independent. My parents really did their best to make me feel an independent kid. My teachers had an influence on this topic as well. Before taking Mr. Freeling's DC American History class, I would never study. He warned us to study or the class will be extremely difficult. Unfortunately, after we all bombed the first test, I learned to develop an initiative to study with flashcards, Quizlets we made as a class and everything. I can still remember the look of surprise on my mom's face when she asked me what I was doing and I told her I was studying. And from then on, I have been independently studying in most of my classes, and this is all thanks to Mr. Freeling. And it is not just me. We all have teachers that we can give thanks to who have taught us life lessons throughout our high school years. Whether it be in band with Mr. Schreiman's Do It Better, or whether it be in Miss Weed's calculus class and her teaching us not to procrastinate or else it won't go well on test day. Independence is one of the most important values to have in order to become a good decision maker, and being a good decision maker helps one become a good leader in person. We cannot just have fun all the time, but at the same time, we cannot just study all the time. I think that if my life was a short story, my dad would be the cheerful character because it was him who would push me out, socialize, make friends, have fun, and enjoy these years, while my mom would be the more serious character. It was her who reminded me to focus on my studies and give as much effort in other activities, such as when I was playing the tuba in band, or on the field in soccer and football. What I'm trying to say is that we should find a balance. Balancing fun and work creates an even better individual, and I suggest that everyone should learn to do this. Lastly, enjoy something that you do makes achieving things effortless. Sometimes it pays not to worry so much about where you fall in the rankings, but rather think about the joy you get with what you do. I know that everyone feels extremely happy, and our parents are proud that we were able to secure a diploma after all these years. I would like to leave you with 4 words of advice. Always aim for excellence. Because even if you enjoy what you're doing, the hardships will still be present. I know a lot of individuals who strive for success, and a lot who, unfortunately, just settle for mediocrity. Now I like to challenge each of you to push yourselves harder and always aim for excellence. And because in doing so, you will always be successful. You will always be better yourself. You will always be better for this community and this nation. My fellow graduates, always remember this famous quote by David Frost. Don't aim for success if you want it. Just do what you love and believe in, and it will come naturally. Class of 2019, Lafayette will always be a home, our home, for all of us, and we will always be welcome there. Thank you all, good luck, congratulations, and go Irish.
Our next speakers are 2 gifted individuals who have come a long way in these 4 years at Lafayette. It's been incredible to see what these 2 have accomplished. One of them was a part of the freshman mentor program and represented all of us as an Irish ambassador. And of course, did baseball and basketball all 4 years. The other did 4 years orchestra and theater and participated in tag for 2 years. And you all know which one's which. I went through the nightmare of calculus with these 2 as well. Yes, it was periodically fun in class, and Miss Weed is an exceptional teacher. But I gotta be honest, our brains couldn't be more relieved that we all made it to the end and that now it's over. These 2 have gone above and beyond, not to mention managed tie for this position. So join me in welcoming your Salutatorians of the class of 2019, James Boynton and Tyson Koch.
Good evening, friends, family, faculty, and class of 2019. On behalf of all the graduates, thank you for coming and showing your support on what is one of the biggest days of our lives.
Seated before you today is a group of students who are very different from one another, who have very different yet bright futures ahead of them. We have future college students, tech school students, trade school students. We have both military men and women. We have students with full-time jobs already lined up the day they receive their diploma.
Despite these differences, the students before you today are one big Irish family. We have each other's backs. We are supportive of each other in whatever we choose to do. We've seen the resolve, strength, and character of this class, and we know that the directions we will take in life will have meaningful and profound change as we move into the future.
And yet the future will not be easy for us. Every person will experience hardship and failure in life at some point. However, what matters is what we learn from our failures and how we apply what we learn. Our attainment of fulfillment and happiness in life is predicated by our ability to move past failure, not to isolate ourselves in mediocrity so as to never fail.
I would like to again thank everyone for coming and showing your support for these amazing individuals seated before you. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this special day.
close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away.
Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day.
They can say it all sounds crazy.
They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong. I say that you'll bring me along to the world you see.
To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me
A
awake.
million dreams.
I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna
Thank you all for coming to the 2019 graduation of Lafayette High School's senior class. We would like to take this time to honor a few of our staff members. For the past 4 years, we have sat in classrooms of our loved teachers and learned and loved and laughed together. Freshman year, we sat in biology with Shiflet and learned how to do Punnett squares. Sophomore year, we shared an amazing English class with Miss Prusman, and even though we got off topic and wasted a whole class away a lot, we wouldn't have changed it for the world. Junior year, most of us were having our teachers over again, but when I think of my junior year, I picture Mr. George standing on top of a chair going whoop, whoop, and making airplanes for the Soviet Union's army. In honor of Mr. George moving schools, I'd like to say goodbye on behalf of all of us. You have been such a big part of our lives, and we will miss you. Now it's senior year, and most of us stepped into Doc's class for the first time. It's been a whirlwind in DC, and there have been many times when no one agreed with anyone, but guys, we made it. We are now saying goodbye to all of our teachers who have made Lafayette our home these past 4 years. There are so many options when it came to picking an influential staff member and teacher this year. On behalf of the senior class, I want to say you all will be missed. Now, to honor the person that the whole senior class has chosen for the most influential teacher, this honor goes to Mr. Tillman, who most of us have just met this year. Many of us were worried about how hard this class was going to be, and we're surprised to find that it wasn't as bad as legends told. I think that he enjoys worrying his students just a little bit for that first test, when most of us are freaking out about how hard it's going to be, because we have to pass government in order to graduate. After the first few weeks, however, we realized it wasn't as bad as the myth claimed. I'm happy to have met him and had him as my teacher the last few months. Thank you, Mr. Tillman, for being an inspiration to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 senior class most influential teacher, Mr. Bo Tillman. Junior year, the Lampions met Miss Sheila Faye Weed, and we loved her so much that we came back for another year with her. It wasn't because we wanted to find the dairy, Miss Weed. It was most definitely for you. We had many laughs and told many stories, like how Miss Weed over here went to 5 different proms, or how when I got the hiccups, unbeknownst to me, her and Kara had plotted to stop them by scaring me during our test. Or how she would deal with the class's complaints on DC English during class time. And how she would deal with the lack of homework that we turned in, begging us to turn it in at least before the test. These are just some of the reasons, and there are many more, why the 2019 Lampions have chosen Ms. Sheila Weed as the most influential staff member and have chosen as our speaker today. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Sheila Weed.
Good evening. To the Lafayette High School class of 2019 and their families, distinguished guests, and staff, it is truly an honor to be standing here on this stage in the presence of so many dedicated individuals. Teaching alongside a wonderful and talented group of staff members, I am humbled and honored to be chosen by the 2019 Lampions as their most influential teacher. I am a 1986 graduate of Lafayette High School. In fact, everyone in my home has either graduated LHS or will. So when we put that sign in our yard that says, "In this house, we yell go Irish," it isn't just a decoration. I graduated as a Lampion and finished 3rd in my class. I've been teaching math for 29 years, with the past 23 at Lafayette. I am married, have 3 wonderful children, a beautiful granddaughter, and 4 dogs. I've seen a lot of changes over the years in teaching, in students, in technology, and in the world. But one thing has always stood the test of time. That one thing is Northside pride. Our community, staff, students, and our graduates carry that pride within the foundations of themselves. This pride sticks with you and always will be there, no matter the direction you choose. You will forever remember these past 4 years, the friendships you've made, the experiences you've had, the triumphs you've experienced, the trials you've faced, and your many accomplishments. If you graduate Lafayette, you will bleed green forever. I spent some time contemplating whether to give this speech, as public speaking is not my forte. When one is given this responsibility, one wants to provide words of wisdom that will impact a life and give some direction. As I prepared, I couldn't help but go back to the basics. As a math teacher, I hear people say, you either love it or you hate it. In reality, math is a universal language. It is mostly equations, numbers, and a few Greek letters, but no matter where you are in the world, math is understood the same way. One does not need to translate a math equation to a different language to be understood by someone from a different country. The mathematical laws remain the same, no matter your religion or language. 2 + 2 = 4 in every single country. The universality of math is one of the many things that make it such a powerful tool and essential life skill. The core of mathematics go back to the basics. Therefore, this is what I want to convey to you today. Remember the basics. As a teacher of mathematics, I can appreciate the process it takes. The trials and errors involved in math create character, understanding, versatility. The process enhances critical thinking skills, problem solving, and understanding. Such is life. Math is not easy. The simple parts are easy, but the hard parts create frustration. If you get the wrong answer, use an eraser and try again. Sometimes you need a tutor or a second eye on the problem. Sometimes you have to step back and take a break, then come back with a new attitude or a new approach. Such is life. As a student, you begin math with the basics. A student will practice basic math skills with repetition, completing numerous worksheets. When students move up into age and grade, the basics turn into word problems into theories, numbers become letters, and to advance in math, a student must build upon prior understanding and experience, such as life. No matter what part of math, what level you take as a student, the basics stay the same: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I asked my calculus students what they believed to be the hardest math theory they learned this year. Their first answer was everything. But one answer was finding the area under the curve using Riemann sums. Even Riemann sums can be taken back to the basic, as the process is summed up by finding the area of rectangles using multiplication, then using addition to add those areas together. When faced with a tough problem, if one would break it down, adhere to the steps, and remember the basics, the hard problem becomes bearable. Such is life. Today, after many years of being in a traditional classroom, you will graduate and begin the next chapter of your life. The next classroom you enter will be the world. As with math, there will be times that you love it and times you may struggle. I'm not going to lie to you. The world is a tough place to live. It's not a bed of roses all the time. You will encounter happiness, joy, mountaintop experiences, but you will also experience sadness, sorrow, and valleys of disappointment. Just remember the basics. When life is good, grasp on and do not let go. When things don't necessarily go your way, grab that eraser and try again. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let failure or disappointment define you. You are better than that. You are better than the circumstance you might find yourself in. Your attitudes and actions are a choice. You are responsible for yourself and can only change yourself, no one else. Just remember the basics. As with math, sometimes you need to add variables that contribute to your joy. At times, you may need to subtract variables that bring you down. Maybe you need to multiply or divide variables to tweak the equation of your circumstance. Wherever you are in life, remember the basics. In my life, the basics I like to add are those variables that make me happy and bring me joy. Find something you love to do and do it. Make it your career, make it your hobby, but do it. If it brings you joy, do it. Family is one of my big basics. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter and I love being around her. She is such a sweet little girl who adds so much to my life. I add as much time with her as I can as she makes me feel good. I like hanging out with friends, taking trips, and teaching. I add these types of things to my life to enhance it. They may be little things, but they add up. Remember the basics. There used to be a show on TV called Cheers. A character on that show, Norm, was asked how it was going one time. His response was, "It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear." Sometimes life will try and bring you down. If life gets you down, if you find yourself in the middle of a situation and do not like what is going on, remember the basics. You may have to subtract something out of your life. If you don't like the path you're on, subtract that direction and continue on another path. If there becomes too much negativity in life, subtract the source of that negativity from your equation and look for another way to arrive at the answer you are searching for. Remember the basics. Sometimes you may need to multiply things in your life. I am a woman of faith. I like to multiply my interactions with other people of faith. I like to multiply joyous times and outings as a family, so we spend more time together. Find what is good for you and what works, and multiply that in your life. Remember the basics. Sometimes division is necessary. When you find yourself bogged down by deadlines, being overworked, overwhelmed by circumstances, remember the basics and divide up those responsibilities. Do not be afraid to ask someone for help. Do not be afraid to delegate your authority, whether at work or at home. Divide those variables that weigh you down, share the load, and do not hold things in. Remember the basics. We are not made to be alone. We thrive in environments where we have relationships. Find a tutor in life, someone who will be there in thick and thin, someone you can rely on and bounce ideas off of, someone that will listen to you and speak into your life, someone that can be honest with you and help you through the good and the bad. Remember the basics. You will hear many pieces of advice today and the next several weeks as you begin the next chapter of life. I encourage you to remember the basics. Do not sacrifice the long term for short term. Set goals. Reach for the stars. Be respectful. Help those less fortunate than you. Be a productive member of society, and give 110% in all you do. Life is a whirlwind of activity. Make the choice to live it to the fullest. Stay on those mountaintops for as long as you can. Rise up out of the valleys as soon as you can, and enjoy everything you can. It's a choice. To put this advice in terms of today, whatever life throws at you, whether good or bad, sometimes you have to hit the whoa, evaluate, adjust if necessary, and begin again. To the 2019 graduating class of Lafayette High School, get out there and show them who you are. Keep us proud. Grab onto your dreams, never give up, and run the race. Congratulations and good luck.
I want to take this opportunity to commend the parents, relatives, and teachers of these students for assisting our young men and women in reaching their goals. I want to congratulate the class of 2019 for your accomplishments. There are many students in this class who have attained significant achievement during high school, and at this time, we want to recognize them. Can I please have our 10 highest ranking seniors please stand? Remain standing. Can I please have members of our Lampion Honor Society, which represents the top 10% of this senior class, please stand and join them. You may be seated. Next is our Latin Honors System. This designation includes GPA, exceptional ACT or work key scores, at least 95% attendance, advanced coursework, and involvement in activities. The highest of these honors is summa cum laude. We have 2 students who earn this status. Please stand, Tyson Koch and Jacob Palmer. Magna cum laude, Ike Book. Cum laude, James Boynton, Gage Cloud Gibson, Abigail Dollar, Lucas Holland, Philip Kenke, and Matthew O'Callahan. Next, we are going to talk perfect attendance. 1 year of perfect attendance in high school. Please stand, Guillermo Calderon, Lucas Holland, and Trevor Van Houten. Two years perfect attendance, Ashley Lawson and Matthew O'Callahan. Three years perfect attendance, Tyson Koch and Richard Philippi. We have one student who didn't miss a single day in high school, and I think that is super impressive. Please stand, Joseph Philippi. I'd like to recognize our students who met Strive for 5. If you receive the Principal's Award Certificate for missing 5 or less days of school this year, please stand. You may be seated. Next is our Cup Awards. These awards started in 1920 with the first Lafayette graduating class. Seniors, if you received a Cup Award in any content area, please rise. Scholarship winners. Many of our seniors have won scholarships, the dollar amount being in excess of $2 million. Ms. Guthrie does a fantastic job of making sure our students take advantage of all possible financial opportunities. She reported our total on Friday, and it's at $2,232,485. I'd like to give a special shout out to Ms. Guthrie for all of her work. Seniors, if you received a scholarship of any amount and plan on using those funds in college, please stand. As there are many paths after high school, some students are going straight into the workforce. Seniors, if your plan is to begin your career and start working immediately after graduation, please stand and be recognized. This next group is very special and certainly deserving of recognition. Please stand if you are planning on joining any branch of the military. On behalf of Lafayette High School, we would like to thank you for your service. Last but not least, we received notification on Friday of one unique award. The Community Blood Center recognizes students who donate blood at least 8 times before graduation. These special students who dedicate themselves to saving lives are named Gallon Grads. We are pleased to recognize Gage Cloud Gibson as Lafayette's Gallon Grad. Mr. Wright, I certify to you that these students have been recommended by their teachers to receive the Lafayette High School diploma. They have met all the requirements for graduation established by the State Board of Education and our local school board. Therefore, I recommend to you that they be awarded the diploma certifying graduation from Lafayette High School. Thank you.
Lafayette High School, class of 2019. Inasmuch as you have completed your course of study prescribed by the Board of Education, and because you have been recommended by your faculty and the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education has, by formal action, declared you to be graduated from the public schools of this city. In recognition of this, I have the honor and pleasure to request that Dr. McGinnis present to you your diploma. Congratulations.
Top 10, please come up. Jacob Ryan Palmer. James Ivan Boynton. Tyson Alexander Cope. Richard Wayne Philippi. Sage Ryan Buckler. Lucas W. Holland. Matthew Tice O'Callahan. Ashley Nicole Lawson. Joseph Allen Philippi. Kara Michelle Adams. Alexandra Aguilar Lopez. Sarah Alsady. Angelina Anna Marie Allen. Alyssa Marie Althouse. Nathan Tyler Amos. Jason Lenar Romero Arias. Hannah Renee Bailey. Tanner Lee Bechtold. Adriana Dawn Bloss. Ike Jackson Book. Zoe Ann Brand. Sierra Mary Jane Brown. Tierra Rayanna Buckner. Nicholas Allen Butts. Brandon Camano Paradiso. Guillermo Enrique Calderon. Son Sierra J. Carolina. Mackenzie Nicole Cheney. Zachary Tyler Clark. Gage Joseph Cloud Gibson. Mackenzie Breeze Collings. Rondell and Darius Crossley. Macy Daly. Isaac Davis. Cooper Garrett Davison. Cameron Leanne Dewey. Janae Ann Marie Dickerson. Garrett Christopher Dilly. Abigail Marie Dollar. Kylie Dawn Marie Ebling. Courtney Renee Ellison. Jordan Ray Eric. Alyssa Reagan Fanning. Ethan Michael Fleck. Jalen Nicole Ford. Madison Jane Frakes. Miguel Garcia Benito. Reeston Elijah Giles. Autumn Renee Glidewell. Mahasi K. Goldsby. Hayden Lane Hadel. Aaliyah Michelle Hammett. Corby Ryan Hanley. Jacob Dean Harmon. Harley Michael Hatcher. Bailey Marie Hatstadt. Michael J. Haynes. Bailey S. Hazelrig. Carly Lynn Helton. Coralie Santiago Acevedo. Grady Davis Herring. Moses Leroy Hicks IV. Sarah Becca Hobson. Bailey Renee Hoffman. Jamia Holmes Warner. Austin Jared Hook. Lily Anna Howard. Marlon Trajon Hughes. Gabriel James Insco. Tatiana Monet Latrice Jackson. Eric Ryan Johnson. Jordan Ray Bradley Johnson. Nicholas William Johnson. Brooklyn Nicole Jones. Haley Ray Jones. Philip James Kankey. Jasmine Marie Kennedy. Adam King. Kirsten Leanne Kissick. Julia Lynn Cook. Zachary Ryan Leader. Ashlyn Isabella Lewis. Chloe Morgan Lenig. Xander William Dominic Lucido. Darren Lynn Mace. Peyton Ray Matthews. Seth Michael McKinney. Ryan Jordan Milliken. Zoe Dayton Moran. Antoine M. Morrison. Dakota Cheyenne Natir. Cameron Alexis Orr. Derek Michael Owens. Frankie Gerald Parker. Cameron Paul Parks. Alexander Dale Phelan. Dennis Wayne Reynez III. Kylie Renee Ralston. Ellie Grace Richardson. Stephanie Rocha Galvez. Camden Austin Rucker. Michaela Lee Salisbury. Brianna Searle. Catalina Maria Hope Serrano. Katie Lynn Shryock. Caitlin Elaine Simon. Cole Wyatt Soboski. Gary Sollers. Purity Hope Soul. Jordan Page Stanton. Alyssa Marie Swope. Stephen Michael Swope. Dakota Michael Symington. Gracelyn Sesney. Sky Maudib Alfonso Thompson. Ramy Tipkus Tom. Trevor Lee Van Houten. Bianca Kaylee Weiss. Reagan Michael Violet. Anthony Quinn Ward. Lucas Andrew Wisnan. Autumn Marie White. Josiah James White. Shar Don Whitten. Shay Don Whitten. Trenton Cole Williams. Tristan Allen Wilson. Brooklyn Holly Zanker. Daquan Zamore. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lafayette High School class of 2019.
Seniors, go ahead and move your tassel, which signifies your graduation from Lafayette High School. Congratulations.